Okay. So the first story was a boy in a storm. A boy in a storm. That was the story. That was the story. Okay. This is the picture. What a boy in a storm. Correct? Now, have you seen that? Let's have the story from Rakshita. Read out your story, please. Yeah, Rakshita, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I pursued the picture as a farmer who is working in his field.
You don't tell me. Just tell me the story that you've written. Nothing more, nothing
Yes,
less.
Yes, sir. Ram is a 24-year-old man who is back in his village after completing his graduation. Though he was a bright student and had landed up in a good job, he was dedicated to work for his village and wanted to develop the village. He had found out an innovative way of irrigating the field as he has pursued his course in BSc Agriculture.
How many lines have passed till now?
So,
how many lines have passed? How many lines have you written till now?
Sir, it was 13 lines, sir.
No, till now, how many lines have passed?
So that's all. That's the story.
No, okay. So what have you written beyond this, or have this is the end of the story?
This is the end.
So okay. So what is the problem? That he wants to develop his village, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what is the problem? Develop in what way?
Sir, there was problem for the agricultural thing. So he has developed.
So the first and foremost, you should have been in a position to bring out the problem itself in the first two lines, that the village did not have proper irrigation, isn't it? Have you found a solution till now?
Yes, sir.
What is the solution?
Sir, as he had done his course in BSc Agriculture, so he has found a innovative way of irrigating the fields.
What is it? What are those innovative ways of irrigation?
Sir, I didn't mention that.
Okay. Now, what is difference with the irrigation? Irrigation is what? Is a project which involves not only irrigating a part of land, but the complete area, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Can it be individual based? Probably yes. Until such time you say you have a tubewell, you have, or say you have a board of tubewell, probably possible. Who will give the money?
So the government, maybe.
Government. Okay. Did he get money from government?
No, sir.
No. Secondly, in which place is he going to use that our irrigation facilities? So you have not talked about the type of irrigation. You have not talked about how that irrigation is to be project is to be funded. You have not talked about where it is going to be located. You have not talked about how it is going to be effective. You have not talked about whether it has been success or not. Even if success is there, how much productivity and all those aspects of the irrigation or agriculture which has been taken care of, you have not talked about it, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Is there any use then? Recollect that what we talked about it as we had talked about it, that in order to find out effective intelligence, what all things should be there? What all things should be there? Tell me yourself. What should be there?
So observation.
Yeah. What are the qualities, Nikhil? Tell me. To say that you have got effective intelligence, what are the points needed?
So observation, knowledge.
Again, just now we showed something, isn't it? What all did we talk about it? We says it should be story can be simple or familiar. Is it a simple story?
Yes, sir.
It's a simple thing. You simply talked about it. Is it a story first? Does it have past, present, or future?
Yes, sir.
No, it doesn't have it. It's simply that he is an agricultural scientist. He just not completed his graduation in probably agriculture. He goes to work. He wants to develop his village, and he has done his irrigation. How? Just one liner. So your action is bus. It is being wishful. Is there any clarity in the story? No. Problem you said development is a general word. Development can be in terms of education, development can be health facilities, development can be in terms of agriculture problem, there can be so many other things, development can be the roads and other aspects around with there. Has there been any result? Overall success? No. Is the success realistic? Not possible because you're just talking in general. So that's of no use. So this sort of story, when you write it, it's absolutely of no use. Now, secondly, you know, it's a boy, the picture was a boy in a storm. You have not even taken the impulse itself. You are far removed from the impulse. You are talking irrigation. What action? You have seen the boy. What is the? He just holding his hand and walking across in the storm, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, is it logical conclusion? No. Any question asked? No. Have you given why this is required? No. So it means both effective intent and reasoning ability are of very low degree. It's firstly, it's not a story at all. Okay, Sushant, read your story first. First story.
This 18-year-old boy who was sitting at his home and helping his mother in cleaning the house. He found that the storm was outside the house, so he closed up the windows and doors, covered up the sheet for preventing dust and rain to getting inside the house. He then observed some children of neighborhood playing outside and got stuck in the storm over there. He then went outside, took them inside his house. After that, he continued to clean the house.
Okay, now, by closing the doors and windows of your house, have you done anything great?
No, sir, but the objective was to clean the house. And
It is just a very trivial point. Every day, your mother and father, or the people, even old people who are there, whenever there is any storm, they close the door.
Yes, sir.
For closing the door and opening the door, do you get any credit? So if you start writing such a trivial, low-level ideas, what do you expect to come to your way? It is simple. It's a very, very simple, low-level ideas. So the story is very low-level idea. Nothing wrong. What you've seen a children playing in the storm, you say, okay, bache mere ghar aa jao. Anything great?
Yes.
Then what's the problem? There is storm. Have you done anything beyond this storm? Storm is what? Heavy wind, heavy rainfall. Is it going to affect only your house?
No, sir.
Is it going to flood some area? Is it going to create some other problem as well? Who is going to look after that? So it's a very, very low level ideas, doesn't even warrant talking about it. Go away. How this is? Rai, what is your name, please? HP.
So my name is Sir. My name is Sachin Kumar Rai, sir.
Satish. Have you understood Satish or not?
Yes, sir. I understood. समझा सर जो आप बोल रहे हो.
So otherwise इसका कोई फायदा नहीं है ना.
If
you put this sort of low level idea, do you expect that people will pass? You're supposed to an officer who is supposed to take decision in the thick of the battle when the bullets are flying left, right, center. There's hardly any time for you to act and react. When you take one action, your men are going to in peril. Either they're going to die or they're going to survive.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's talk about the second story. What is the second story? There was a boy sitting on a chair. Is a boy sitting on a chair, and some elderly person is standing in front of him. Okay, this is the scene. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Rachita, you tell me. This is your story.
Yes, sir. Mukesh is a state level football player and has won multiple prizes. He was well prepared for the interstate competition and competed with all his efforts. But while he was trying to go, he comes across a leg injury. Even though he gave his best and it resulted in the success of his team, but he had so since he had the injury, the doctor he went to doctor and the doctor appreciated him for his courage and motivated him to keep going.
Now, who will analyze this? Satish, you tell me about this story.
So this is a background I could see is a home background in which a person is thinking something, another, and he is in. Because when we think something good or bad, our expression are always in the confusion. If you are thinking good also,
Okay.
so I think that the elderly person is suggesting him something when he is trying to think
Talk
something.
about that. What? Don't talk about the impulse. Now we are talking about the story per se that Rakshita has said. Let's
Yes,
analyze
sir.
the story.
Yes, sir. Rakshika has told that he's a person who.
There's a player who is playing very well. He's got injured, and doctor has suggesting, and he is appreciating his effort that he has put in, isn't it? Is it the
Yes,
summary? How
yes.
do you put across? Just tell me in 3 lines, Rakshita. Summarize your story. Summarize your story, Rakshita.
Yes, sir. Sir, so he was a player who used to play really well, but in this interstate competition, he was playing and he came across a leg injury. And despite that, he played. He gave all his efforts, and his team won. But when he came back and consulted a doctor, the doctor said that this is a small injury and he'll get well soon, and motivated him to keep playing.
So what does it mean, Sushant? What does this story mean? This gentleman, that whosoever the hero is, he is trying to take glory that in spite of my injury, I have played. Very nice. So that simply said something about of physical stamina. That's all, isn't it? But I recollect I have said around there, he is trying to find an excuse for a performance and non-performance. Is he trying to find an excuse or not? Means he simply says, in spite of the problem, that injury that he has suffered, he still played the game. Did he win? Did he lose? What are the effort he has put in? He has simply played one game, isn't it? That's all. Does the story talk anything more than that? So it is one time, 1 hour effort. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Is it more than that? Now, if that is the case now, how did he prepare? What has he done? So he wants someone to assure him that he is still fit and fine and he can work. So he requires motivation from others to perform again. Is it or not? Does he require motivation? He requires help and assistance to move ahead in life. Certainly, one thing is good. From story number 1 to story number 2, it is a better performance, but still not up to the standard that you expect it to happen. Rakshita, have you got my point?
Yes, sir.
Now,
So what can we make changes in the story? What changes can we do?
that is absolutely now. My aim is this: making a story is your job. Remember, we talked. It is thought. Thought comes from thinking. Thought comes thinking. Unless you think rightly, can you afford to perform? It is your mental output. No one, as a person, I never tell this is a story you should write. You have to think. A plot has to be thought by you, and that plot has to be appropriate to the impulse that has been provided to you. It has to be a story. What I would describe is just one-time event. You went to play and you got injured. Is it a story? Tell me, is it a story?
No, sir.
It's a trivial idea that has come through. Okay. Sushant, you tell me about your story.
Suresh, 18-year-old, who was preparing for engineering entrance exam. He used to study for long hours of day. He then, after some months, felt sick and got fever. He was then checked up by the doctor. He was told to take proper rest and sleep to recover. His exam was just 4 months away, so he decided to make different timetable in which he included short naps and 5 hours of sleep at night. He also then took help of medicine, and then he was able to recover and continue to prepare for exam. He also went on morning walks to get fresh air and did meditation to get fit.
Okay.
Afterwards,
now, Rakshita, enlarge his story.
Sir, I think he missed the ending.
Don't worry. Ending is very trivial. First and foremost, what he is trying to prepare for engineering, isn't it? He has fallen sick. He has fallen sick. What has he done now? Doctor has told him to give him some medicine and give him certain rest, certain advice, and he is trying to follow that. Is it or not? Anything beyond that?
Sir, he has also put his own efforts to recover.
So what's for whose gain? Now let's talk about first and foremost effective intelligence. Use of intelligence to find a solution to a problem. What is the problem? Problem is he has got an examination. That is engineering examination that he's appearing for. That is a problem, is it or not? Yes. Now, in order to, before examination, this gentleman has fallen sick. What is he trying to do? He is trying to take recourse to the fact that even if he does not do well in examination, he has got logic to say that he was sick, and in spite of that, he has not been able to perform, or he has been able to perform well or not able to perform well. Correct? What is, he has made a timetable for appearing in the examination. So the effective intelligence is gone because the problem is you are appearing for examination, you are class 12th student, you have already passed the 12th round there, you're prepared, you should have been prepared for all the purpose subjects, which you have not, and then you are trying to go about it. So the effective intelligence is not at all there. Logic, that affect the reasoning ability is again down. You are unable to organize because once you're waiting for the examination to come last month, then you are trying to, so organizing ability is again questionable. Then you go back to the dynamic quality determination is again questionable. Mental stamina and physical stamina again is questionable. Am I right, Sushant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Satish, tell me, do you agree with this or not?
Yes, sir, I do agree, sir.
So what is the use of writing this? When you write this sub story, we also talked about success. What is the type it is? We have tried to analyze the story in a different format. So the first two stories that we have tried, that based upon the definition of how the quality should emerge. Okay, let's talk about some other points on the system only. Okay, now two stories that we have heard on this. Rakshita says she has talked about, what was the story? The boy who has gone for playing, he has got injured, and the doctor tells him that you can do still well, and he appreciated his effort that you played in spite of injury. Okay. Is it a simple story? Familiar or complex? Is it any complex story? No. That is never any complexity? Absolutely no. Is there any clarity in why should a person get injured? I've already talked about when you're writing a story should be, hero should be such that he is in a position to bring out reasonable success. Reasonable success, he should be performed. Success at the end, she has not talked about it, whether they have won or not won. What is the report? no result afterwards. Is it success realistic? Reasoning ability is again questionable. There is no logic you are giving it on there. Similarly, as far as the Sushant is concerned, same goes there. Inquiring aptitude gone. Can he give point or against? Why? Only because you have fallen sick. So it means low level ideas again. Are you there with me? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's talk about the third story. What is the third story? Your story should have what we call a form. There should be complexity in your story. What? There should be complexity in your story. Your story should have certain literary sense. Means when you write it, first, thirdly, it must have coherence. Coherence, we talk about temporal coherence, causal coherence, thematic coherence, cultural coherence. Temporal coherence is your thoughts should flow. There should be clarity in the story, and a line should follow the second line. So it means like water, story should flow. Is your logic why? Causal, cause and effect. A and B and its effect on hero's sense of self, cause and effect relationship. Third is thematic. Hero makes reflective evaluation story, revealing themes, overreaching trend, and creating meaning from the narrative. Now, third is cultural. You should be possible within the framework of a cultural toolkit. Cultural toolkit. Okay. Next. You should understand instruction. That instruction is have to be a story. It has to be a story. Did you perceive the image? Or have you given reasonable details or not? Is there any cooperation between the characters that you have created? So let's start. This is the 4, 5 ways in which a story can be formed. This is called form, based on analysis, based upon form of the story. Okay. Now the third picture will just stand based upon this. Let's see. Third picture was there's the one, some small vehicle is there. Someone is trying to repair that vehicle, isn't it? Okay. This is the third picture. Was it or not, Rakshita?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's have your story first, Rakshita.
Right, sir. Lieutenant Aman was recently commissioned to the army, and he was extremely glad as his first posting was in Kupwara district of J&K. While he was assigned the task to supply ammunition to the unit, the vehicle broke down and couldn't move ahead. As Lieutenant Aman was a technical enthusiast, he quickly managed to find the fault and somehow got it to the nearby garage. The vehicle was repaired quickly and it could complete the task within the given time.
Okay. Now, Sushant, analyze the story.
Sir, she has taken up the army but sir, she has left the man in front of her, the main character, policeman who is front of her, and
Okay.
the scene seems to be in the garage only, not somewhere in the.
Forget about that term. Now let's talk about what it. She seems to think that he is responsible to carry ammunition to the in somewhere Kupwara district and all. That is this leave aside that.
Yes,
and somehow that she finds that the vehicle which was to carry the ammunition around there, it has developed certain amount of fault. Being engineering, I would say, technical enthusiast, he has been able to find a problem of the vehicle. He has taken the vehicle to the nearest garage and probably she has got it repaired. Is it or not? This is what you want to say, Rakshita? Anything more than that?
No, sir. No, sir.
Okay. Now, again, now let's talk about first and foremost what we're thinking. We have talked about that first and foremost, does it have complexity? Let's analyze the story based upon the form. Complex. Is it a complex story? No. It's a simple, you have assigned a task of carrying ammunition on a vehicle. Now, second thing, normally it is not, if a vehicle is carrying ammunition, it will not go alone. It will not go alone. It will have certain group of vehicles. It will have necessary escorts, because ammunition is a very, very important item of services. And that too, he or she is talking about Kupwara district, where anti-terrorists or terrorists are already on rampage. Would it go alone?
Yes.
So you have tried to write a story about which you have got no clarity. So it's first and foremost, you should have avoided talking about a story which you're not very sure how to go about it. Number two, does it have, so it is sense of reality is missing? Correct? Because ammunition cannot be carried by alone, and you can't take your ammunition loaded vehicle to a common side garage and leave it there for someone to take care of. Would you do that? No person, it is impossible. Does it have a thought and telling of a story in a clear chronological way? Duty has been assigned to him or her, the hero. It is not his own initiative. It is his own initiative? No. Then what? What has he done? He has failed to perform his duty because his vehicle itself has landed on a problem. There's some technical glitch has come into play, which he should have checked up before loading any equipment, anything on his vehicle. That things are, or that the vehicle is fit and fine, and it will be able to perform the duties. Thirdly, causal relation between event A and B. How the relation? So now ammunition has to be taken to forward areas. Has ammunition reached there?
Yes, sir.
How?
Sir, then when the vehicle came to the garage, it was repaired and the task was completed.
So what is the problem? What is the contribution of a hero? Only taken the vehicle to the garage. Is there anything more than that?
Yes, sir.
Only action with the hero. I said your 15 quality will emerge only if you act. Only if you act. What is action of hero? Taking the vehicle to the garage, is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Anything more than that? Thirdly, he is at best a driver of the vehicle. What do you want to become? You want to become an officer. Officer is not driving the vehicle, is he? So the aim is again low. Correct?
Yes.
Now, Sushant, you read out your story.
I'm 21-year-old mechanical engineering student who had come to his home in vacations. He was thinking about his weaknesses, and then he realized that he was weak in practical machine work. Then he asked his father about a good mechanic where he could practice and he could help him in order to get skill and knowledge of machine. He then went there to work on. After coming back to college, he also made a plan of building an engine along with his friends. After 6 months of repairing it, the engine was ready.
Okay. Now, story number 2, you had talked about self. What was that? You wanted to prepare for an engineering and you have fallen sick. Correct? Now, you are still in that previous mode. Why? You have thought about engineering. Now you are continuing to be an engineer. You are trying to study. Now you have gone to a Purdue Engineering College. And what you have thought? That my mechanical part or the engineering part is weak. I want to learn more. So you have asked your father to tell me any place where I can afford to hone up my mechanical engineering skill. What your father has told you? He has told you there's a garage. You can go around there, learn about your mechanical aspect. You have gone and learned it. Is it or not? Anything beyond this? And then you have gone back to college. You have gone back to college, and what have you done?
Sir,
You have
with the help of friends and made up a project on engine and then submitted in the college.
what project on engine have you made?
Sir,
Tell me.
the engine itself.
Huh?
So the engine itself.
Engine cell. Now, how much cost would the engine making an engine would be there?
That I don't have an idea.
So now, that's again, but the basic issue is what? You are just thinking, you are just doing what you know without even thought process. How many parts does the engine have? Hundreds of parts?
Yes.
From where did you get the parts first? Was it normal engine, which did you take it from scrap and it construct, say, made a new engine? Assembled the parts? Is it the type of project which any engineering college would be expecting to perform? No. Again, it's a self-oriented affair. Second story number 2, you talked about it, that you want to prepare for engineering. Story number 3, you are trying to be, you are a student of engineering college and you are unable to perform well. And again, you have honed up the story. So story number 2 and story number 3 goes in tandem, indicating that you lack your self-confidence. Right, the speed of decision is wrong. Speed of decision, SOD. Ability, now third and foremost, self-confidence is missing. It's all gone. You're not able to solve a problem. Reasoning ability, effective intelligence. You are not able to organize things. You are asking your father to tell me his place where to go. What was the first story you talked about it, son?
So it was about closing of the windows and doors of the house.
So you're close. In the first story, you've closed the window. Second story, you are preparing for engineering. You've fallen sick. Story number 3, what have you done? You have gone to engineering college. You are not able to perform really well in mechanical part of it. You have asked your father, let me do something about, learn something new from the garage which is available, and you have made a project of engine. Does it really make any sense? Satish, have you understood what I'm talk about it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let's talk about the fourth story. What is the fourth one? Yeah. What is the fourth one?
So the post letter one.
Yeah. Fourth one is, fourth is just one
letter.
Person delivering a letter, delivered to something, letter is being driven, is it? Okay. Yes. Read extra story.
Yes, sir. Cadet Varun, who had joined NCC 2 years ago, as it was recently introduced in his school. From there, he was extremely motivated to join the armed forces. So he worked hard in his 11th and 12th and got selected in the National Defense Academy. After giving his SSB, he also cleared his medical test and was waiting for his joining letter. He received the letter and was extremely happy to make his parents proud. He joined the NDA shortly.
Okay, very nice. Now, what is that? Yes, I did talk one order story to indicate your motivation to join service. Okay, but what is done? What is the effort? You already said you've given examination in your past. Any effort? How did you prepare? How did you pass? What all action did you take it? So it is being wishful. It is being wishful. You have not given the steps taken to succeed. Have you taken any step?
No.
So what you've done, you simply appeared, you are part of NCC, you wanted to join services, you've given written examination, you passed SSB, you have become an officer. Secondly, we talk, every story must have a past, present, and future. Past, should we talk about the problem? Yes, you have defined the problem. You being NCC, you wanted to join services, very nice. At the present, what are the action have you taken to go towards the direction? You were simply talked about, you appeared in the examination and passed. What is the future? What have you done later on? Success is there, you achieved the success. It is again wishful because no action, appropriate action as needed has been taken till now. Correct?
Yes,
Beyond that, if you have become an officer, you owe certain obligations to the institution and the area and all the places that you belong to, so that you can contribute a humble mind towards their development or some contributions has been. That is what the future should be there. Either you flourish in your hierarchy or do something for the people in and around, or something else, some future activity should be there. Is there anything in this?
No, sir.
Okay, Sushant, read your story now.
Rupesh, 21-year-old CDS aspirant who has given his SSB attempt in which he got recommended. After that, he got to his home and analyzed other weaknesses in which he had to work on. As such, he then took the help of his father, family members, and his friends to preparing for his physical strength, other tasks, and life lessons in real life. Afterwards, his father received up his call letter for joining. Then his father got happy and he took his blessing and continued to prepare for his weaknesses.
Okay, again, you're just sketchy. Total information, nothing. Problem with bulk of the people are there. They have been told that the story should not have negative, nothing negative. Very nice. But it is not the negativity which is more important. What is it? You have to bring out your own qualities so that you have to show the 15 qualities, isn't it? And those 15 qualities, as we talked about, effectiveness, reasoning ability, organizing ability. And next is what? Social adaptability, cooperation, and sense of responsibility. Now, Sushant, this is your fourth story. And all four story is directed towards self only. Is it self only? First story, you close the window. Second story, you're preparing for examination, I would say. And third story, you're preparing for mechanic. And fourth story, you have passed and you have asked your father to tell me what are the problems required. You're trying to prepare for physical and all this so that you can afford to perform in NDA or for the examination. Is it or not? Any other action have you taken?
Yes.
So the problem comes up until these 15 qualities emerge. Would you be in a position to get the right marks or the what is that? Would you expect that someone will clear you off?
No.
That's simple. I just want you people to understand. Okay. Now let's talk about some other qualities that you are needed. We have talked about it. Let's say here. Beyond that, we talked that a formal story. Next is what you call understanding, instruction, perception, image, story, description. You have written details. So details required to bring out the 15 qualities are missing in all of you. Next, what you call content. There should be hero. In our two stories that just now, third or fourth story that we heard, who there in both the cases, you got a hero who is trying to join services, isn't it? Correct. In the case of Rakshita, the hero had passed SSB, passed written test, and they have joined services. In case of Sushant, what is happening on there? He has passed his SSB, and his father had told him to perform certain activities so that he can afford to do well in services. Beyond anything else? Next is. Now, what is the press? Feeling of action. What is press? What is press? What is the until unless you define the problem, and problem is define the degree of difficulties. Until the problem of reasonable difficulties, that indicates that will bring out your qualities. Press is there any press is something which stops you from achieving your success? Is there any press? There is no press. You want to join services, you join services. There is no press at all from anyone. Press is something, what we talk about it. What is press? There are two types of press. Is what is prevents me from achieving my success, and second is what called beta press, that is perception of the press. So only press is that you both of you have appeared in examination, and you passed. That's all. Okay. Are the action adequate or inadequate? You have both of you have taken inadequate action. Inadequate action. Next is attitude, outcome. You both have achieved the success. Fair enough. You have joined the services. Now, attitude. People, is there any? There's only one story. I said whenever possible, talk about the group. Talk about the group. Since there you are only one involved, so all story becomes individualistic. Correct? Okay. Older people, so there is no attitude does not come into play. Except in case of Sushant, in the previous story, he has asked his father to tell him a story, telling a place where he could get trained. In this story, his father had come back and told him, you must prepare for physical activities. so that you will do better in exams. So what does it mean now? He is dependent on someone else to probe and tell him how to perform. He's a dependent. There's a sense of dependability comes to play, that you are dependent on someone else for your action to be taken. It's not, you remember we talked about three things. This is autonomy. I should be master of my own destiny. Secondly, I should have competence. And third, we talked about there should be relatedness. Now, you seem to be overshadowed by your parental grip. So you are under the parental grip in the sense that the father tell you do this, you are trying to do this, do that. That's all. Okay, now next is need. What is need? We have talked about three types of need. Need for achievement, need for power, and need for affiliation. There are the three important needs which are there. Over and above, there are 17 needs. 17 psycho needs are there. So none of the needs are coming. Yes, you want one. Both of you in this story, you have got need for power. Need for power, affiliation, and success. Correct? Okay. So now, till now, you are just, since you have appeared in exam and passed, it is being wishful. Does not rely on the ground. Does it rely on the ground? Okay. Okay. Read the next one. Next story. What is the next story? Next story was there's a girl holding a weapon, and there's a person standing there, sitting on there. Okay. Read out your story, Rakshita.
Yes, sir. Rama and Suhas, who were good friends since school days, decided to go on a trek along with their friends. As they were heading forwards, Rama saw a group of robbers planning to loot a bank in their city. Rama quickly informed this to her friends, and Suhas called up to the nearby police for help. As the group was quick, the police was able to catch the robbers and arrested them. The children were appreciated for their efforts and were appreciated by the MLA of the city.
Okay, now tell me. First and foremost, is it not antisocial? Robbery, theft, is it not antisocial activities?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, I have already told you around there, please avoid any story which involves antisocial and unsocial activities, so that the story becomes smooth and clear. Correct? Now, what action have you taken? You have simply informed the police for necessary action. How do you come to know they are trying to commit theft or robbery? How do you come to know what? Any logic? Any reason? You saw a group of people that were trying to commit robbery. How?
No, so these people saw them discussing about the theft.
So, discussing. So, what did you over? They are trying to over. What did you hear? What have you written in your story? Read out the story again.
Yes, sir. Rama and Suhas, who were good friends since childhood days, decided to go on a trek along with their friends. As they were heading forwards, Rama saw a group of robbers planning to loot a bank. Rama quickly informed this to her friends,
So
and
now you just saw a group of people, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So what is your action now? Only inform the police. Your action is only informing, isn't it? Are you involved in anything, any other action by you?
No, sir.
So what grade do you get? Any action other than inform the police. And until and unless you act, would all the 15 quality ever emerge? No. Sushant, you tell me your story.
Harish, 22-year-old boy. Sorry. John, 24-year-old bus driver who was going on normal route as a regular, One lady passenger boarded the bus, and after the bus had started, she pointed a gun on him. He then took the bus left and right so that the aim of the lady is not stable, and then he suddenly stopped the bus. He then, with the help of the passengers, overpowered the lady and called the police. Afterwards, he suggested the bus union to start putting up an emergency button inside the bus to call the police immediately.
Okay. Who is the hero?
The driver.
Driver. Who is the hero? Driver. What do you want to become? An officer. Your aim is what? Is it low or not?
Yes.
Ame Satish, bolo. Analyze the story. Tell me.
Sir, I think this story has not a clear goal.
Has a
Not a clear goal. Goal clear नहीं है.
not clarity की बात में आती है, पर देखो understand. Aim is what? You want to become an officer, isn't it? What have become? A driver. What do you become? A driver. Secondly, now, so the first low itself, we have a low aim very low. So except on that story, you will get return of straight. Number two, whatever a person comes back, a lady comes back with a gun from where? Would there be other passengers also in the bus or not? Has anyone acted or not? Someone would have acted, someone would have shot her, someone would have done something.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So if this, so it means now you are tying everything onto yourself, or there was only one person in the bus who is holding the gun. Let's go beyond that. And after that, what are you trying to talk about it? You have been wishful that by driving the bus left and right, and you have disturbed the stability of the person who is holding the gun around there. And what? How did you catch him? Were you driving? Who has caught the lady? Was it you? Did you leave the steering? Someone else came to your rescue? Or did you do it yourself? Would these questions come into play or not? So they are the answer which you have to give it to yourself. You're just trying to, because all of you, both of you are trying to write a story only because you write a story. कहानी लिखना है. ये बच्चों का खेल नहीं है ना बच्चों. All of you are trying to playing like a child, You have to be adult. I say you remember there are three types of attitude states are there. One is parental, one equal. What do you talk about it? One is child, another adult. So you have to behave like an adult now. You're 18 years old. You are no more a child. You're not गुल्ली डंडा नहीं खेल रहे हो ना यार कि गुल्ली डंडा खेल रहे हो बताओ मेरे को बच्चों का खेल रहे हो मैं बाहर से कर दूंगा Are you there with me, Sushant?
Yes, sir.
You cannot afford to make, if this sort of story comes into play, no one on the earth can ever pass you. Statementally, very straight way. You have to change your idea. You have to change your thought process. Okay. Now, before we go to the next one, let's see some other quality which are needed. So we did talk about it. The story can be work, recreation, adventure, daring act. Is there any daring act into this? Bata mere ko. Is a good fortune, artistic pursuit, conventions. You are working as a driver. Then recreation, adventure, they know what to talk about it. Now, Rakshita talked about adventure. They are going for adventure somewhere. Where? Nothing mentioned. How many people were there? What action did they take it? Nothing talked about it. So by luck, it is very by luck you have saved yourself. Is it or not, Sushant? By luck. Okay. Now, story should have what you call a preceding event, that the past. It should have present action, that is the present. Then they should reflect thought, feeling, interest of the character involved. It should have output, which should be socially, emotionally, morally, intellectually correct. Socially, emotionally, morally, and intellectually correct. Now, let's talk about the two stories that has written. Now, Rakshita has written, she has informed the police, very nice, socially correct. There is no problem. Because that is what a person should do. Implied, but by merely informing a police, you are not, you are basically acting as informer. You are not involved in it. And next, as a driver, when you take your bus left and right, you're being wishful. Is there any psychology? It's just no mirroring. Clarity of the story missing. Is it realistic? None of the two are realistic around there. Original. Your idea should be original. Different. अलग. जैसे बता ना आप देखो एडवर्टीजमेंट देखे होगे ना इसका टोमेटो केचप का आता है. How the days one of the hero के ये अलग is different. खाता है and कहता है so your story should have to be different so the people like the story. They should fall for the story. Okay. Next is what? So vague. So all vague. So all this is how the story should be. Next subject है type of story. It can be redemptive, contaminative, agentic, communal, exploratory, coherent, meaning making, and performance. Now let's talk about this story itself. You have gone from, as far as both Rakshita and Sushant have gone from positive to negative. So it is contaminative story. Why contaminative? You are going for an adventure. Suddenly you found someone, what is that? That is the robbers are trying to commit theft or robbery. What happened to your adventure? No one talks about it. In case of Sushant, what he has done down there, he is a bus driver who's going across very merrily around there. Suddenly he finds something negative has happened. Is it not from positive to negative? So this is a redemptive, it is a contaminative type of story. Redemptive is from positive, negative to positive, negative to positive. Contaminative, positive to negative. This is what you can't talk about it. It's agenting. You should be able to act as an agent, catalyst in the environment. Then you talk about exploratory. You keep your eyes open, learning from something around there. The causative, your problem should be resolved. None of you have been in a position to resolve the problem, coherent resolving. And your story should convey something, what you want to say, meaning making, and you have to perform. None of these qualities really in this story, type of story comes to play. Okay. Now let's talk about the next. What is the next picture? Any idea?
Sir, the hospital for me.
Yeah, that is something is being carried by a nurse and someone is trying to fold it up. Okay. Now, tell me stories, Rakshita.
Yes, sir. The given picture shows a nurse who is taking a dead person followed by the doctor.
Anytime you say in a given picture, you are trying to describe this picture rather than writing a story. Many times in the given picture, I can see something being carried around, so it means you're describing the picture. And what is expected? You have to write a story. Write a story. Correct?
Sir, yes.
Okay, go ahead further.
Dr. Nitesh was a really hardworking and kind person who was highly trusted by the people. One day, a critical case of an accident arrived where it was really stressful for everyone. In spite of trying his best, Nitesh couldn't save the patient. This had an impact on him and his co-workers, but he motivated himself and others to keep working as it was a part of their profession.
Okay. Now, Sushant, analyze the story.
At first, the mood of the story, she moved from negative to positive.
There's nothing on what is positive about it.
Sir,
who's the hero? Who's the hero?
The doctor only.
Rakshita, read the story again, first part. Read your story again, yeah.
Dr. Nitesh was a really hardworking and kind person who was highly trusted by the people. One day, a critical case of an accident arrived where it was really stressful for everyone. In spite of trying his best, Nitesh couldn't save the patient.
What I have told you around there, you should act like Amitabh Bachchan. So that is a part of job. Someone has died. Okay. You have to perform your job at all costs. Once you have undertaken, you are a doctor. Who told you that it has to be a negative story? A person should die. No person should die. The time it is a pessimistic story. It is a pessimistic story. And then you require someone else to tell you that you have gone in negative mood. You have gone in negative, and you require help and assistance for others to come out from the negativity. Is it or not, Rakshita?
Sir, but it is clearly visible that the person is dead.
I'm not trying to say, I'm not denying this. There's something called, I said, one of the difference is called intellectualization. Intellectualization means that you have to look at the positive aspect of the system rather than negative aspect of the system. I can have to take it half glass full rather than half glass empty. That's the positivity. Now, this story can also be, so many things can afford to happen around there. It can be one of those stories where, hospital must be practicing emergency. Possible or not possible? It can be dummy saver. It can be NDRF team performing something. It can be teaching stars. It can be that something corpse is taken, the body is taken for learning of the students in the college, medical college. Is it there where you can want negativity only?
Yes, sir.
So even if suppose someone is dead now, suppose how do you get, everyone feels grief. How do you get, in our शास्त्र में हमको बताता है 10 दिन 13 दिन का कर्म होता है, क्यों होता है? Because it takes you 13 days to get out of the grief that you are there. So you are performing so many jobs, you're looking at the positivity of the individual. Positive, the individual, that is task that is being undertaken. See, it's a defense mechanism that you use, that is a pessimist, that's a negative. Correct? I do agree with you, it is a dead body which is carried. I agree with you. I'm not right. That's the reason. Why do we give the negative? These are to take out what psychology called complex. Check your complex. If you have seen certain things, it will bring out some of your close relative who has died. Some scene that you accident scene you have taken around there. How people have acted, reacted. What are your experience system? It are purposefully they are given. One picture of accident would always be there. One picture of fire may be there, may not be there. So they are just to check back how to react in those particular situations. Okay, read out your Sushant.
Harish, 22-year-old boy whose grandfather had recently died due to their age. He had a very good relation with his grandfather and he was sad. Then he asked his father to donate his organs to the hospital to help other people. It was also his grandfather's last wish, and he also went to his father to fill up the form of organ donation after death to help the people in need. Then he took his body to the electric furnace and cremated it. He also shared his idea within the neighborhood and among his friends to fill up such kind of form.
Better off than what? Okay. The problem is death should be avoided. What country is the? He says you can afford to talk about it. That Sushant, who became the agent to become a person who pursued who wanted to formalize blood donation in his complete area. Every person who should die, they used to know with the due respect provided in this form of what were required, they used to be taken to the hospital so that blood couldn't. So you have to, rather than saying your own grandfather dying, take it a bigger story, make it a better story from that. Take it, not only you. So he says that the breakdown of many people in the area were dying because of lack of system, lack of organs around there. In order to organize that system, he called his people around. He formed a group of people around there who motivated the area around there. Any death which happened right or wrong, which is that they would develop around there. He got the from there, so they make a story, make it apart from that aspect. Okay.
Yes.
Done. Okay. Read the next. Now, next aspect before we go further again, let's talk about again some other aspect of the story should be there. Type of story we talking. Then your story should not have anti-social, or unsocial. Anti-social kya the chori, dakati. They have the supposed anti-social. Unsocial actually biases which are there. He is Christian. His unsocial activities are there. Okay. Unionist. You can't afford to expect a union in the system. Just like Sushant in the previous story did talk, he told him truck union that they should organize the automatic alarm bell. Did he talk about it or not, Sushant? What does it mean? That it means unionism. You can, because services can't afford to lenient. You can't afford to fight this. You will just go like say jhanda leke khare ho jayenge. Then the whole force is gone. There will not be any story on religion, communism, communalism, attitude towards elders, peers, subordinates. This what is the they are the negative part of it. You should show need for achievement. You wanted to become engineer, nothing on that's the need for achievement. Nothing. You become certain officer in the system. Power, yes. Need for affiliation. You like a good relation with the people around there. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with the system. Okay. Read the next story, Rachita.
Yes, sir.
Huh.
Parag, who was an IIT graduate, was recently rejected in an interview due to the condition of unemployment. This made him feel low at times, but his parents motivated him as he was very skillful. So he gathered some knowledge and looked for some capital and decided to have a startup of his own. After years of dedication and hard work, Parag made it to the list of top 50 businessmen list. He credited
Hold it,
parents.
Rachita. How is it related to present impulse?
Sir?
How is it related to this photograph?
Oh, okay, sorry, sir. I think I read the next picture.
How your story that you are telling me, is it related to this impulse?
No, sir. Sir, I read another story. Just a
Read.
second.
Yeah, read out.
Yes. Ria and Barkha were good friends from a very long time, and Ria had recently cleared her civil services exam. They decided to celebrate, so they went to the nearby hills. Due to extreme weather conditions, Barkha fainted and fell. Ria quickly lifted her and managed to take her till the main road. Then they went to the nearby hospital after calling the ambulance. This could be done as Ria had good physical endurance.
Okay, now tell me. That's okay. One of the friend has cleared the examination. Well, now they want to celebrate. Now what is that thing? Who's fallen sick? Ria or her friend?
Ria, sir.
Ria was the person who cleared examination, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
And she has fallen sick?
No. Her friend has fallen sick.
Her friend. So what does it mean? You're trying to take credit at the cost of others. If your friend was not feeling well, why did you take her for a picnic or for a celebration? Where was the need for it? Why should I bring in negativity in the system? What have we gained? What is the story? You simply took your past, your UPSC or what was the examination on there, you've taken a 40 and a friend has fallen sick and you carried her to the hospital and made her okay. Is it a story? Which quality emerged? If you have known that your friend is not feeling well, why did you take her along? Where was the need for it? So the reasonable thought and process required to write a story that itself gets missed out. So Sam, read out the story.
Shravan, 19-year-old member of the drama club of the college. He was reading newspaper in which he observed that the teasing and harassment cases against women are increasing. He then discussed it with his leader of the club and decided to play a drama on realizing responsibilities and duties of ours to help women. He then took help of internet and also asked the girls about how do they feel empowered. He then organized a drama by preparing script and submitted it and the drama was organized.
Okay, now Susan, tell me one thing. You are trying to be critical of the society, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because you feel that society is full of crimes. Is it or not? Yes. And against the women. Why should I talk about the negative aspect of the society? Where's the need for it? Yes, you can make a story of drama, but it's a fair. There's nothing wrong with the system. But why? It could have been better aspect of it. You could have thought of better situation. It could have been all. Even if you want to make a movie, please make a movie. I have got no problem at all. It's art. But still you are trying to be critical of the society, and then you are going to ask every girl and every woman, tell me, what all things should we do to empower you? Who are you? What have you done? by creating a drama. Where will you perform the drama? How many people will get involved? How have you motivated the society? How have you changed it? Even if you do that, you should be able to find out that problem in the society and how you have undertaken to eradicate that problem in the society. What will you achieve by performing one art, one drama? How many people get motivated? Did it have any effect on the society? Did the crime come down? Until they are details, mind you, the problem with the SSV is very simple. It does not require any preparation. It requires changing of thought process itself. It requires a rethinking about your personality. You have to analyze yourself, what I'm talking. Unfortunately, I say behavior is a function of the environment. Yes, it is the environment. Environment has corroded, you have to come out of it. These type of story is certainly not going to yield any result. Okay. This is the next one story. Read out the story now. Rakshita.
Yes, sir. Shiva, who is a 30-year-old individual, had the responsibility to uplift his father's business as it was not doing very well. As soon as Shiva completed his MBA, he joined his father, and after a few years, the company started booming. Shiva applied his knowledge and skills, which he had learned during the days of his business study, and uplifted the business.
So, what action? Again, you generalist, you're talking in general. You're talking general. Any specific action taken? Satish, bolo. क्या किया उसने? He has done MBA after he is talking after few years in the factory around there, which his father had owned around there. He has affected certain changes. What are changes?
So generalized action नहीं है sir, action oriented ज़्यादा इसमें.
Action तो बाद की बात होगी. General, he was taking general. अच्छा होगा इसलिए you're talking general. It is not a story. It's not a story. Story has to certain. देखो, aim is not writing a story. Story can be written by a child of 5 years. Is it or not? दादा दादी कहानी भी होती है. You are adult of today. You are a mature person of 18 plus. Your story should be acting like an adult, perform something, bring out qualities. There is certain complexity in the story. All the points, I have shown you all the points which are necessary, isn't it? Sushant, read out your story.
Shravan, 18-year-old 12th class student who had went to a factory of textile industry on a school trip. He saw many different types of machines for embroidery, etc. After that, he walked on to find his interest as he got interested in machinery and wanted to learn more about machinery. He then started preparing for entrance exam after getting guidance from his relatives and seniors and made a proper timing and after consistent hard work, he was able to clear it. And then he took admission in the mechanical engineering and continued to prepare his skills.
Okay, now story number 2 of yours. You prepare engineering college. Story number 3, engineering college. Now story number this. Is there any difference in this whole thing? That all 3 stories are the same?
Yes.
Is there any difference? 12 कहानी अलग अलग होनी चाहिए ना भाई. What have you achieved? Again, is self. So all your story till now, they are all self-direct, individually. You're talking about self. अपना फायदा तो you can. Why should I take you? It is not. You say service before self. Service before self. Here is the nation comes first. My men under me comes next, and me comes last. I'm the last person. I don't deserve any
credit.
So that is the status now. So where are you? Tell me now, out of so many stories, every story is to us individual story. How do you think that people will think of clearing you off? Batao mere ko. Is it possible?
No, sir.
So that's the way, no? I said that anyone who gets associated with me, I never got it, but I will certainly tell you, your thought, you should be a better person when you leave me. Your thought process must change. I should be able to add a value to you. I will never tell you to write this story. I've never told around there. More than 200 people who have been with me now, they are only on officers today. In all branches. Not even one person I would have told they have, but you can all improve. You can, provided you try and understand what is expected. What is expected? Okay. Read the next one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The Rampur village of UP was struggling to decide whether to give women an opportunity in politics. Dinesh, who came to visit his village after studying law, heard about the matter and called up for a meeting as his grandfather was a sarpanch. He politely explained the capabilities and importance of women and convinced the villagers. Now, few seats are reserved for the females. The ladies of the village were very thankful to him.
Okay, now tell me. Rakshita should become the next prime minister, isn't it? No? Why not? Join politics now. I simply said politics is not, will not be talked about. Services do not talk about politics, isn't it? Did I say or not? Religion,
Yes.
politics, caste, creed, and has got no. We got only one religion. That is our uniform. Only one. That's all. We talk about Naam, Namak, Nishan. That you will talk about. So anytime, what have you done? You are a person who has gone, your father happened to sarpanch of the area. He called the people and you have motivated people, okay, ladkiyon ko politics mein aane do. That's all. What is the result? Did they join? For what? Who will pay the money? Any party, anything that when they want to get in politics, how would they earn the money? Who gives the money? How would they fight the election? Tell me around that. Yeah, so again, you are trying to wishful, Rakshita. Come back. You have to really put your foot on ground, and become practical. Become practical. We talk about practical sense. We talk practical sense and what you call social sense.
Yes.
Practical intelligence and social intelligence. Is it or not? Yes.
Right.
Women should get priority in the what is election and all that. That has been now 1/3 of the seats have been reserved by the government of India itself.
Yes, sir.
So what he can really require, probably, you have to train the people. It is not by giving 1 hour lecture. Okay, tum ladkiyan chale jao. How many girls would have attended that meeting? 10, 20, 30, 40. Is it or not? Is it going to make any change?
No, sir.
Okay, Sushant, read out.
Ramesh, 21-year-old agricultural student who had come to his home village, he realized that some part of the land of his village is uncultivated and unused. He then went on to a sarpanch and gave him idea of doing farming for fishes by digging up a pond and by contribution of all villages during Kharif season. He also collected up money for pond making and dug it up by workers. He gave them information about the maintenance of such farms, which helped in their income in
अरे
community.
simple क्यों नहीं करते यार? He organized, Sushant, in a group of people, who organized a group of people from cultivated, dug a pond with the help of the villagers around there in the what that uncultivated land which are lying, government land which are lying, with the help of permission on them, with the help of that he cultivated fishes, started distributing the profit and how this. That simply come back to that. इतने लंबे चौड़े भाषण देने की क्या जरूरत पड़ गई? Come back to the meat. You have to act. You have to act. That is what is more important. आप लोग ताल झाम जो होते हैं ना, उसी में करने में पुरानी कहानी खत्म हो जाती है. Plot is okay. You can think of it. There's nothing wrong with that story. A plot theme is okay. PC culture, that is called PC culture. Until right on PC culture, then उसको क्या फायदा हुआ? तब until right that indicates your level of knowledge. If you don't even talk PC culture, then बात खत्म होगी क्या? You so many, so you could have talked about facility available. Now there's a separate department of PC culture itself around that. They missed in the central level. They won't try to pursue that. So they both inland fishes and all that. Those you talk about that. Okay, read the next one. Next story. Rakshita.
Yes, sir. The village is flooded by rain. Balram, who is hardworking businessman, had to travel across the river to go to the next village. He observed that many of the villagers had to cross for everyday course. As the bridge was flooded due to heavy rain, Balram, along with his friends, decided to build a bridge as they knew about the mechanism. Balram motivated the group
Hold it,
and
hold it, hold it,
completed the...
hold it, Rakshita. Rakshita, tell me, what is the cost of constructing a bridge?
So, the flood.
What is the cost? Huh?
Flood.
How did what have you done? In total story, what have you done? You constructed a bridge, isn't it?
So, initiative.
Huh?
Initiative.
You didn't get it. Initiative. What is the cost of constructing a bridge?
To help the villagers.
Okay, that's okay. There's nothing. You didn't. I'm telling you, who will bear the cost? Paisa kahan se aaya? How much money do you think it will require?
It should have been funded by someone.
So who will? Someone will give money, isn't it? It can't happen in the sky. And then who will go the material? Crores and lakhs of people. You go to a village which area is getting flooded. Do you think the people have got a positive, lot of money of them or what? Even if you construct one bridge, would it solve the problem? No. If the flooding is taking place, you have to find the root cause of the flood. How do you stop floods around this? You have to be okay. You can take the group of people of a village around there to start cutting band or barrage so that they can afford to. You can give some down. Yeah, you can take the help of the government, and so that is how the thing should have gone. Yes. No, don't try to be wishful. You're trying to be wishful. Be practical. Okay. Sushant.
Suresh, 19-year-old boy who was at his home. He then went outside where his father had been seeing of the storm approaching. He then took up the tools and equipments to protect the crops. He, along with his father, went to the farm. He then, on his father's order, dug up small areas to prevent waterlogging in the farm. He then also covered up the cattle area to prevent discomfort to the cattle. He then came back with his farmer.
Now tell me around there. Story number, which was this again? You have taken the first story number 1 was the storm.
Yes, sir.
This again comes a storm. You again taking a father. Your father has come at least 4 times in your whole story. 3 times your father. What does it indicate now? You are under the माँ के आंचल से निकलो. माँ के आंचल से निकलो. And until you come out of माँ के आंचल से, you will not be. I say I have talked about autonomy. You have to be independent yourself. You have to think what you have to be. What have you done? Father and son has done it. If the storm is coming, what can you do?
Prevent the water to be inside the farm.
So from where can you do alone?
No.
Even if a storm is already come around there, what can you do? You can do little at that time. You only can prevent. How to prevent it? Probably if some area has got flooded around there, you would take the people to mal jal ko safety mein le jaoge. You will take people and the animals and water property to safer place. And you have to take the water, other precautions required. If some area has got flooded around there, how to prevent the drainage and all system will have to be cleared up. That's all. So you have to act with the right fashion, is it or not?
Yes, sir.
खाली कहने के कारण देखो पहला the reputation of thought is a critical point. In your case, it is 3-4 stories remain the same idea, same thought. Because you come on, दिमाग खोलना है. It should be like a parachute. It should open up and let the air be filled up so that you get buoyancy, you get uplift. You are constructing yourself. Don't put yourself under pressure. You are working under pressure to get out of it. Let it open. दिमाग खोलो ना, अपना दिमाग खुलेगा यार. ऐसा नहीं कोई आदमी, हर एक आदमी दिमाग खुलता है. कोई भी ऐसा इंसान है जिसके बाद नहीं खुलता है. You have to think. You have the faith in yourself that I can perform. That faith is essential, is it or not? Okay. Read the next one, Rakshita.
Yes, sir.
Read the next one.
Parag, who is an IIT graduate, was recently rejected in an interview due to unemployment. This made him feel low at times, but his parents motivated him as he was very skillful. So he gathered some knowledge and looked for some capital and decided to have a startup of his own. After years of dedication and hard work, Parag was able to make
just hold on. Now, rather than telling, he got rejected, he said, looking at the present situation, he wanted to prepare in view of the government program, the Startup India, Stand Up India, and all, rather than investing, he wanted to create employment for in and around for all the people on there. He started his program. That is how he should start. Why should I start with negativity?
Yes,
Better
sir.
part, now you're better in this story you have developed. There's no doubt about it. You should, so rather than being rejected, he says, looking at the grim employment probability which is available around there, Rakshita, in line with the group of people, decided to start up a company and took some advantage, they stand all the policy which are government of India, and started with a small little thing, and then again began this, and a lot more people got employment. That's how the thing should have gone. Yes or no?
Right, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Sushant, read it.
Shakti, 21-year-old architect who had gone to find out job for him, but he was not able to get his job in his desired company. So he then joined up some other company. He then realized why he didn't get the job. He then worked on different projects of the company. He afterwards focused on his soft skills as well as, for example, communication and teamwork, etc. He also took help of internet and completed assignments for buildings, which he got him more.
Again self-oriented, अपने पास direct self ही हो बात, अकेले अपने की बात कर रहे हो ना यार. So all your story direct towards self. हाँ या ना, बोलना. क्या फायदा हो बता. समझ लो क्या? It is the bringing out the 15 qualities which is important, not writing a story. आप दिमाग में ये लगाओ, मुझे कैसे इस ऐसे एक्ट करना है कहानी में जिससे मेरी क्वालिटीज इमर्ज कर दिखे. ओके, जब तक वो नहीं हुआ तो कोई फायदा नहीं काम करने का ना. कहानी लेकिन जाना, देखो, with lot of effort you people have passed UPSC. Is great because out of 5 to 6 lakh, 4 to 5 lakhs of people, you have only 5,000 to 7,000 people are there. So you are in the top notch of the people, isn't it? Once you are in the top notch, you should be proud of it and lift yourself up. Now, unless you lift yourself, would you be in a position to perform? कोई फायदा नहीं इसे लिखने का. If you go to story for rejection, तो मत जाओ ना यार. There's enough scope. This देखो ऐसा, you should be able to develop. That's all. And you have got nothing wrong with your thought process. आपके सबके पास दिमाग, जो anyone who has passed his UPSC written examination, he has got enough capabilities. Have faith in yourself. And unless you have got faith in yourself, you cannot afford to utilize it. Okay, write the blank story now, Rakshita.
Yes, sir. Shreya is a defense aspirant and has been preparing for FCAT exam since last 2 years. She had also appeared in the NDA exam but couldn't make up to it. She didn't let this demotivate her, so she joined college and completed her graduation in BTech. She appeared in the FCAT exams and managed to clear it. She joined the academy and earned her wings with all her hard work and dedication.
Rakshita, this is your self story. I say you should keep yourself out of it. It's your own self story which is creating a problem for you. Get out of it. You have appeared in written examination. You have not come. You're writing yourself. अपनी कहानी मत लिखो ना यार. Right? Now in this case, rather than take, I say one story. Okay, Rakshita, engineer, graduate from BIT around there. Suddenly she, after seeing that advertisement, she appeared in the exam. She wanted to become a pilot. And after being become that, she motivated other what is that, other students of her college to join around there. Ultimately, large number of people from her college have joined the service, which is a matter of pride for all of us. Can we do that way or not? See, if देखो, जैसे एक देख गया, नुक्ते के हेर फेर से खुदा से जुड़ा हुआ है. You don't have to do much. नुक्ता बोलता है एक डॉट होता है, डॉट से जो उर्दू में लिखता है खुदा से जुदा, खुदा से डॉट हटा दो, खुदा से जुदा हो जाता है. So आपको you don't have to, you just have to do a bit of change in your own story, own structure.
Yes.
There's nothing. Don't work under stress. Okay. Sushant, read it.
One an 18-year-old 12th student who had taken up computer science and AI as a subject of academics. He then worked upon them to build knowledge, and he learned new languages as Java and Python. He worked up with his friends to build games on the internet. Afterwards, he then used his knowledge to develop his computer performance. He then worked upon with his friends on the cyber portal of the state for helping the government by his skills in college as he took up hacking.
Again, ये सब बेकार की कहानी है. You either run Python or you run, say, COBOL. It doesn't make much of difference. What is action you've taken? Again, it is self-development. That's all. Python has become a word number. Buzzword today. Everyone talks about Python. Someone talked about some other language. It was C, C+, and so all the C, C+, and all Python. They said everyone talked about it. It is not going to help you. It did not show up knowledge. It is action that you've taken as a person. It is a test of personality, not test of technical knowledge. You have to bring out your personality. Okay. So overall, we have talked about all the 24 stories that we have discussed today. You have seen how the story is structured. Aim is to bring out your 15 qualities. Aim is to bring out your 15 qualities. Right? And until you bring out this, there is no point writing. Think, rewrite your audio stories again. Think out how can you bring out these 15 qualities on there, and then we'll talk again. Okay. Satish, was this session useful to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now tell me about yourself, Satish, because tell about yourself.
So my name is Sachin Kumar Rai, sir. No,
Sachin. Okay, so my fault.
Yeah. No problem. So I have done my graduation from BITS, Hyderabad, BITS Pilani, Hyderabad.
Okay, very nice.
Also, I have been at SSB twice, once for the NDA. I have been considered out from the NSB Kolkata.
Okay.
And afterwards, I went for the tech entry 2023 November, 20 SSB Bhopal.
Okay.
Again I got considered out, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been given my series